Okay, so maybe you bought the Sony A7 III like me, or maybe you have the A7 II, S2, R3, R2, whatever. If you have a full frame, even if you don't have a full frame, even if you have the A6300 or A6500, and maybe you've been looking at this Sony 85mm f1.8, all I gotta say is buy this thing now. What you waiting on? Look at this butter. Look at this sharpness. Look at this amazing lens. Now, right now, I have it on the Sony A7 III, you know, full frame mode, full frame lens. You know, decent lighting, not the most crazy lighting. That's why I love the fast f1.8 aperture. All I have to say is just butter. Look at that butter bokeh. Look at this butter sharpness. Look at this butter lens. Now, I've also used this lens on my Sony A6300. I was using it for a ton of videos I've done before. I'll flash some B-roll right now of some of the results I've gotten out of that and the compression I get. Now, the 85mm on the crop sensor is a 1.5 crop, so it becomes 127.5 or something like that. So you're getting even more extended reach. And on the Sony A7 III, you have the Super 35 crop mode. If I hit that, I'm locked in at the 127.5. So you're not limited to just the 85mm. You also have the option to go in and get that 127.5. And if you use the internal zoom, I forgot what it's called, no something zoom, like no quality loss, something like that. I forget the technical name, don't judge me. This is CJ Knows Tech. My name is CJ. I love tech, sneakers, and anything creative. And today, I wanna give you like my impressions, my enthusiastic review of the Sony 85mm f1.8. I will say this, my main use for all of my lenses, or the main use that I typically use my camera for, is video. But that's not to say that I don't do photography. I'm getting into photography. I'm developing that attribute to myself. I can't get too in depth in that area because I ain't a pro in photography or nothing like that, but I'm learning and guarantee one day I will be a pro. But if you're looking for all that, looking at the corners and getting all pixel peeping and XYZ, I'm not about that. I'm just gonna give you a practical consumer's review of this 85 f1.8, and it is butter. If I call it butter, it's just what butter is. Butter is butter. And if you're vegan, it's what vegan butter tries to be. If this focal length works for you, and I love it, like literally I'm gonna do this whole, like this part right here, I'm shooting with it. I'm not taking it off of my camera. I don't care for me to hold it in my hand. I could do B-roll and you can see it in my hand and so forth. I'm not taking it off of there because I love it. I love the results I get out of it. And you know, before this, you know, my Sigma lenses were my favorite lenses, but you know, this is my first full frame lens that I chose to grab. I bought it and got it even before I received my A7 III, and I played around with it on the A6300 and I loved it on that beast. So whether you have a full frame camera or you have a APS-C crop camera, the 85mm f1.8, I highly recommend. This is a must for everyone's collection. If you even think about it, hey yo, there's a link in the description right now. If you made up your mind by this point in the video, go, 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 go. I took it out one day. I went to the park. We had finally got some good weather out here in the Midwest. The weather has been jacked, so I haven't been able to get out and do this. That's why it's taking me a while to get to this review, but I had some okay weather. It had some good weather, you know, some Cali-like weather, you know what I mean? The sunset was out there, you know what I mean? Snapped a few of these pics. The low light is popping on this joint. In combination with this camera and this lens, the low light is A1. I'm gonna show you an example of a picture I've taken, and I'm gonna show you before enhancing the exposure on it, you know, the enhanced or whatever. You're gonna see how it still retains so much detail after putting these like quick, like, and I think I just hit the auto setting. When you're importing a raw file into Photoshop, I just hit auto real quick just to see what it would do and suggest. And just from that example alone, now obviously I don't use the auto. I mean, you can use auto as a starting point and then pull and move levers, or you can just see what algorithm of the software is calculating and then make decisions from there. But for this demonstration, I'm going to show you just by flipping the auto, and you're going to get to see how much detail is kept even in the low light situation. And that attests too to the Sony A7 III, which is another thing. If you're even thinking about, go ahead, buy it now, link in the description, go, 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 go. I will be coming with my official review of the Sony A7 III. And yeah, I'm gonna let you know how I feel about that. Even though you probably know right now a little bit of how I feel from my excitement, but you know, it has to get more in depth as to why it would be that, and that's what that review will explain. Now, this 85mm f1.8, this is my first time experiencing this type of focal length. And at first, putting it on the APS-C, I'm getting into experiencing what it's like to have like 127mm, you know, in that 100mm range or so and above. And I love it. And then putting it on a full frame, getting right now what I'm using of this 85mm focal length, I love that too. Amazing. And I'm like you don't have to be as close on your subject. Say if you're shooting someone and you want to be like close but not close, you're able to get that reach and that grab, and you're able to get into that intimate space. Like I was shooting a Sweet 16 recently, and you know, her and her friends, they're able to do their thing naturally, and I'm like off in the corner in the cut. A lot of times they didn't notice me. They didn't notice some of the dope shots I was getting of them in their natural elements, dancing and doing so forth. And that's what a longer focal length gives you, and especially if it's at an f1.8, you get butter from way back here. So I could be way back off in the cut, getting straight butter. And that right there, that reach and the results that you get out of this lens is hands down, is A1. And using a Sony native lens with a Sony camera is gonna give you the best autofocus. It's gonna give you, you know, it's gonna interact the best. Now, right now I'm using manual. In these type of situations, I love to use manual because I know that if I'm in this spot right here, no ifs, ands, or buts, I'm in focus. I can see it. I got focus peaking on my Aperture VS2 Fine HD. Another one, I'll put that in the description. If you shoot yourself with Sony, you need, damn, I'm hitting my microphone. You need an external monitor. Link in the description. Go, 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 go. I like to do manual, and I've done like the past videos before this one that I've shot on the A7 III, all autofocus. I was doing that and I was getting a run with that. You have to get, you know, you gotta know how to play with Sony's autofocus to get it to the results that you like. I'm still learning that. So manual, I know well, and in video, manual is like the king. Like if you can get a good manual setting, you know, as long as you're within that distance, you're guaranteed in focus like I am now. So like, man, I like literally like, I don't know what else to tell you, you know what I mean? If you want all that extra detail, you want to look at the corners and so forth and do that and so forth, there's other YouTubers that get that deep, but I'm just giving you like the real, like actual surface level of what I believe with this lens, and I'm showing you some of the results right now. I'm showing you this Bocalicious butter, and the reason why I love this lens works for me. Now everyone has different focal lengths, they like the results. As you change focal lengths, it also changes the way it presents the face, you know what I mean? So if you haven't seen anything about that, you should look into that because it does matter. But I love the way the 85mm reflects my face, how it sets me up, and how I get the results in this situation. I love it. And I don't always shoot in the most well-lit situations. Right now I have a pretty decent little lighting right now, and I'm still learning lighting and how to set it and how to get the best, most dramatic results and so forth. But I know if I have f1.8 and I'm shooting in that area, I can pretty much light a not so light shot and get the shot and get this butter. So yeah, I love this thing for video. I love this thing for the photography aspect. I'm also like able to snap pictures from afar and still be close and get in there. This is a perfect, great portrait lens. If you're into shooting portraits, this is an A1 lens to grab. You're gonna love your results. Now, the alternative upper end to this on Sony is the 85mm f1.4 G Master, which we're talking, what is that? Is that like over $2,000, I think? If not $1,700, it's about $2,100. So, and then this is coming in at about what, $6? So I mean, you do the math. Like to get in the game and to get started and have something that's A1 at this price point is hands down, like you shouldn't even hesitate. And as you develop and as you grow and as you want to get into those higher end glasses or those G Masters and you can afford them at the time, go ahead and go for those. But I mean, honestly, like you'll look at people putting this one up to the G Master, it's just as capable. You know what I mean? Now you don't have in-body image stabilization But if you're pairing it with a full frame Sony camera, even some of the APS-C cameras like the 6500, you got 5-axis in-body stabilization within the camera. So that's not really a worry. That's not really anything to think about. I haven't had an issue with it not being stabilized, like at all, like period. Even shooting video handheld. I've gotten great handheld shots of video at this focal length. Now, no, the longer you reach into the focal length, the more apparent hand movement and shakes are. But you know, A7 III 5-axis image in-body image stabilization, my super butter smooth handling. I've gotten an A1 video. So I will say this again, buy this lens. And whoa, before I go any further, smash that like button, smash that sub button. I'm on a journey to 10,000 subs this year. I want to surpass that. I want to hit 50,000, 15,000. I want to hit 20,000. I will take 50,000. And if I could have a bang out smashing year, I'll take 100,000. But at the end of the day, I'll take what I get, and I will work for what I get. Don't get it twisted, but smash that like button, smash that sub button right now. And if you even waiting, like, go buy this right now. Like, it's no question. A1 lens. Now I got more lenses coming that I'm gonna be putting on the Sony A7 III. I have a video I did about budget lenses for the Sony A7 III that you should look at and grab. And yeah, I'm gonna have some more lenses coming, more video footage, more photography, more of the journey of me growing in this videography and photography space, more of me doing these awesome tech reviews, and more of me. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. CJ Knows Tech, where I love tech, sneakers, and anything creative. If you love this video, smash that like button now. Hit that sub button, matter of fact. I want you to come back for more. We having fun over here, baby. Let's do it. 85mm. Stop playing.
What's up, YouTube?
Now, when I say butter, I'm just explaining how bocalicious, how beautiful, how sharp. If I call it butter, it's just what butter is.